Hello, cats and kittens. So we're gonna do a little members-only Q&A. Haven't done one in quite some time. I try to do them once a month or once every 2 months, but I wanted to do one, of course, for the members of the Geekdom101 YouTube channel or whatever. If you want to become a member, click the blue join button, and you'll see a video there that will tell you what the perks are and what you get from becoming a member. And one of them is these exclusive Q&As that you have access to through the community tab. The community tab is where I send messages out to my members, and you get with these members only posts, as you can see right there, members only. So you get also early access to videos, clips of videos and stuff that I have planned, and I also get your feedback on things too. So it's a good little communication tool. So let's go ahead and get some of these questions here that were asked here in this Q&A. And let's talk about it. So first and foremost, we're going to go and answer all of these, starting with Metalheader970, who writes, with all the back and forth information on Fusion the past 1.5 decades, actually it's really been longer than that. It's actually been 2.5 decades, because Fusion actually started in 95, when the manga and the anime were first doing it. So it's 2.5 decades. Which fusion is actually stronger, Metamoran or Potara? So, originally, in the original manga, it was stated that Potara fusion was a better fusion. Remember, this is a fusion that the gods, because the Potaras are godly tools. It's a god fusion. And the Metamorans are not gods. And, of course, originally, before the retcon, there was no time limit on fusions, and there was a retcon, which we covered recently in my top 10 Dragon Ball Super retcons video. So, and of course we covered it when it first happened in Super. So originally, the Potara fusion was better. What is throwing everybody off now is basically about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, there was a V-Jump article that came out that said that Gogeta and Vegeta are both relatively equal in power as trump cards, relatively equal trump cards. So what that means is that Gogeta and Vegeta, and we're talking about specifically Gogeta and Vegeta, one is Potara, one is Metamoran, and basically they're saying they're relatively equal in power. Now, originally the issue was not so much power based. People assumed Vegeta was stronger, but it was more so that the Potara fusion was more stable, because if you remember back in the day, if you put out too much throughput of power in Metamoran fusion, you would defuse, which is why Gogeta only lasted 10 minutes in GT, and why Gotenks would wind up, unfusing. That seems to no longer be an issue, or if it is, it's not one that we've seen recently. It probably still is an issue, but we haven't seen it recently. So based on the most recent information from that V-Jump article, it seems like that is what is going on now. However, that's from a V-Jump article. That's not from Toriyama that we know of. It's not something that happened in the series or was stated in the series. So because of that, it's really up to you. I still think that Potara fusion is better, because think about it. 1 hour time limit. That's better than half an hour, right? So that's the way I look at it. Mickey D's 11 says, I'd imagine Frieza's your favorite character. Well, what would give off that impression? Who is your second favorite? Why? Thank you for making the videos you do. I hope you can take care of yourself and have a great life in the future. Well, thanks for that. What made you ever think that Frieza was my favorite character? Why would you ever think that? No, but my second favorite character for a long time was Majin Buu, and then it was Vegeta, and then it was Gohan. I changed my mind about that a lot. And actually, during the Dragon Ball Super run, my second favorite character was Champa. And he's still really, really funny, but he didn't get enough screen time. Honestly, I guess my second favorite character now... Oh, that's tough, man. Because Frieza is my favorite. I mean, no denying that. I guess it probably would be Vegeta, but that's such a mainstream answer. I'm going to cheat. My second favorite character behind Frieza is Senbei Norimaki from Dr. Slump. And yes, Senbei Norimaki was in the Slump Dragon Ball crossover in DB and in Super. So he's my favorite character. And if you've never seen Dr. Slump, you're not going to appreciate just how utterly... He has given me more laughs than any other animated character since Homer Simpson, right? It's been that long. So maybe South Park, it depends. But I love Senbei Norimaki. Legion writes, do you think Goku's friendship with the gods and the crazy amount of Dragon Balls is hurting the series? And if so, how would you sever Goku's friendship with the gods and get rid of the Dragon Balls? Edit, work has been killing me. Watching some of your vids is a good pick-me-up. Well, thank you for that. A lot of folks disagree with me about this. I saw a lot of people disagreeing with me about this because people love Beerus and Whis, and I do too. However, my problem, and I've talked about this before, my issue is the fact that Beerus and Whis being friends with Goku and now the Omni King being friends with Goku takes away from some of the drama, in my opinion, because when you're friends with these incredibly powerful characters, you can always rely on them to help you when you can't get shit done yourself. And as a protagonist, the whole purpose of this whole story, this whole shonen story, is the evolution of Goku and his friends. And I feel like the gods can be there for support and for training. I'm fine with that. But having Beerus show up and always be looming in the background so that if Goku loses, which was brought up again last manga chapter, so that even if Goku loses, he'll save the Earth because he wants the food there. Where's the drama in that? We're supposed to believe as an audience, and even though we have not hit the 10-year time skip, which is also a problem, they're supposed to make us believe as an audience that there's a chance that the good guys could lose. Now, obviously, it's Dragon Ball, and it almost always has a happy ending, so maybe that's a flawed logic on my book, but to me, I would rather take the training wheels off and have Goku and Vegeta and the rest just kind of be on their own. You know, the gods, Goku already made friends with gods in Z, but in Super, these are really powerful gods. Like Beerus and Whis and Zeno and Grand Priest are way beyond King Kai. So I feel like, yes, I think what they should do is just not use them as much. Just maybe Beerus should go back to sleep for a little while, not forever, for a little while, and have Goku kind of be on his own. I think that would be kind of cool. Or if Zeno says, listen, I can't help you anymore. Like, you know, I helped you out against Zamasu, but I can't help you anymore. You know, just have them kind of stick to their own rules. I would prefer that because then the story has more drama. How do you think the Moro Arc will end now that there's more information? It seems to be going in the direction of MUI Goku beating Moro, but I still think Vegeta's going to be involved. And I think it'll be a combination of all the good guys teaming up. I think UI Goku might be the one to weaken Moro so that somebody else can finish him off. Whether it be, you know, Vegeta or Gohan. I'm thinking it would probably be Vegeta. I think that would work out the best. I think Vegeta should actually be the one to kill Moro, honestly. But I wonder how the community would react. If they would be okay with that or if they would complain and say, well, if it wasn't for Goku, Vegeta wouldn't have won. What happened to this business? A lot of things. Who is the GOAT? Michael Jordan or LeBron or anyone else you think not them? Between those two, look, LeBron is an extremely talented player. He's put up some stats and broken records that aren't going to get broken for a long time. He's all around just a beast and he's huge. But one thing that I've noticed that he does not have, he doesn't have that killer instinct Michael Jordan had. Kobe even had it. Michael Jordan has this really, and it's kind of a dickish quality, but he's got this incredible drive and this incredible, you know, just killer instinct that I never really saw LeBron having as much. LeBron's got competitive nature in him, don't get me wrong, but he never had that edge that MJ had. And to me, that's a very important aspect of who's the greatest of all time. So even if LeBron puts up more points than MJ or has better stuff like numbers-wise, MJ's always going to have that grit and that grime. And he had some stiff competition back in the day too. Don't get me wrong. My personal favorite basketball player of all time is Magic Johnson. That's my personal favorite. I think he's one of the all-around best. He was a very selfless player. This guy could have put up way more numbers than he did, but he had Kareem. He was an incredible passer. Like, the way he played was a thing of beauty. And I'm not saying MJ and LeBron don't play like that, but there was a certain slick, you know, versatility with MJ. Same thing with Larry Bird. Those 80s basketball players, the way they would pass the ball, just real smooth stuff, man. I love that style. Tomas says, do you think Frieza out of Goku, Vegeta, Broly is the perfect candidate for the God of Destruction role due to his overwhelming potential? Well, I think he's too much of a dick to ever get that role because he would just destroy things, you know, for fun, if I'm being honest. I think, honestly, out of those guys, it would probably be Vegeta who I think would probably be the best God of Destruction. Broly's just too unpredictable. And Goku doesn't care. I think Vegeta would be one that I think would be the best fit, but I also feel like he doesn't care anymore about that either. He cares about his family, and that's it. So, if you could bring back Cell in any way possible for it to work in a good story, how would you do it? I've been supporter of you since 2016. Keep up the good work. Geekdom, love your channel. Thank you, Wandering Ronin. It means a lot to me. I love my longtime subs. You guys helped me get to where I'm at, and I'll never forget that. Trust me. I think the only way for Cell to come back, don't do a resurrection. That's garbage. They need to find some, like, blood. Like, do what they did with Bio Broly. Find some, hear me out. Find some, like, blood from Cell or some kind of cell from Cell and have some scientist, like, duplicate it and, like, make a new version of Cell. Like the Cell X thing. Like that. You know what I mean? Not saying it's going to be as bad as the Bio Broly movie. I'm saying, like, that's how I would do it. Use Cell's cells to make a new Cell, but have it be a different Cell. You know what I mean? And maybe take some cells from... Can you imagine if they made a new Cell, but it wasn't Cell, but it was like Cell, but he had cells of, like, Beerus? Can you imagine that guy as an enemy? God of Destruction cells? Like, think about that. That would be awesome. Winterfell says, do you think Goku will use his friendly relationship with Zeno to wish Merus back as a mortal being? Well, Zeno does not really does not bring people back to life. That's not what he does. He's never been shown to have that ability. So, do I think that he could use the Super Dragon Balls to bring him back to life? Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that maybe Zeno and the Grand Priest can reverse his disappearing? Possibly. We haven't seen that yet. I think what they should probably do, and again, this is just my opinion, not a prediction, if Merus comes back to life, have him lose his angelic powers. Have him become just a mortal, working for the Galactic Patrol, and have him not be an angel, then that way his sacrifice won't be his entire existence, just his angelic powers. And then that way he can live peacefully in Universe 7 without having to abide by the angel's code, but he won't have the angelic powers. I think that could work. Who is your favorite fusion in Dragon Ball from Kaput? I like Gogeta. That's my personal favorite. The reason being is because I really like the Metamor Fusion vest and baggy pants. I've always been a fan of that look. Like, that vest is awesome. I love the vest, the baggy pants. So that's my favorite fusion in Dragon Ball. We're talking about just, like, Metamor and Potara, not like, Absorptions or Namekian. That's my favorite. RZS Dran B says, if you had to change anything from any Dragon Ball saga in general, OG, DB, DBZ, GT, DBS, what would you change? Well, I would make a lot of changes to Dragon Ball Super, because Dragon Ball Super has a lot of problems. I don't care how much you like, because I liked it too. There was a lot of writing problems in Super. The Trunks arc ending was terrible in my opinion. Tournament of Power could have been restructured a bit better. Broly was fun. Universe 6 was okay. Resurrection F, I would definitely make it an actual story. It's a loaded question. There's a lot of things I would do with Super stuff. So the modern Dragon Ball stuff, I would definitely change. There's a lot of things I would try to improve upon, have different kind of focuses, things like that. When it comes to the old stuff, it's gonna sound a little bit silly, but I would have incorporated the side characters more into the Red Ribbon Army arc. That's pretty much all Goku. I would definitely make changes to GT storyline to kind of push the story a little bit faster. Because the problem with GT is that it's very, very slow. It does pick up, but it's very slow. Pick it up a little bit faster, and I would do that. And then for Z, I guess I would probably change it so that Gohan's the one that kills Popovich, because I'll never forget the fact that Gohan's girlfriend's getting pounded. Well, not really paused, but she's getting pounded in the middle of the arena, and he's just getting mad, and then Bobby D kills him. No. Gohan should have been the one to kill him, dude. That's his girl. Can you imagine the pop if Gohan did that? I know it's small, but I would change that about Z. If you could change any one thing within the continuity of either DBS manga or anime, what would it be and why? Very similar questions to the previous one. My person would be the convoluted arc that was Goku Black. The ending was Pyrrhic. I don't even know what that word means, bro. It's a big word for me. Tragic and it's honest. Worst. Appreciate the work you do. Keep making great content for the community. Thank you. Yes, I agree with that. Goku Black. The ending of the Trunks arc to me was the worst ending to any arc in Dragon Ball, and I'm gonna write why. Or I'm not gonna write. I'm gonna make a video eventually. I already have it planned in my head as to why it was so bad. The arc itself was fun. The whole mystery of Goku Black was Trunks coming back, Bulma being involved again. There was a lot of good stuff in that arc, don't get me wrong. but the ending was just really, really bad, and the ending also went back on the entire purpose of the arc. So to me, that is what I would change. That's going to do it for these questions. Thanks to everybody who left questions, and thanks to all of you for being here. Hope you have a great day, and I'll elaborate more on that Goku Black ending in a future video where I can sit down and kind of organize my thoughts. Love you guys. Coming up this weekend, The Mystery of Yamoshi. Huge video. I've had this video done for about 2 months. I've been planning since back in March, and it's finally coming out. All the unanswered questions of Yamoshi will be addressed. I have answers to some, but to others, I have no idea. But maybe you guys can help out. I think you'll really like that this Saturday on the channel. I love you. Take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you soon.